Welcome back everybody. In today's tutorial I will be taking the design from my last video and turning it into a square pattern. This is really fun because then you can use this pattern to make blankets and scarves or any clothes that you like. So if you like this video or learn something new, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please don't hesitate to send me a comment down below. So in this tutorial I will be using bamboo yarn with a 4mm hook. To get started, let's chain 2. So 1, 2. This pattern is done in multiples of 17 plus 5, but the multiples will not be done in the form of chains. They will be done in the form of a set of 3 double crochets. So I'll show you how to do that. To bring up your yarn, chain 2 and prepare for a double crochet. Traditionally, it's chain 3 for a double crochet, but I like the chain 2 just because I think it looks better and it works better for me. But if you want to chain 3, that is totally fine. I will be chaining 2. So from here, you want to double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. I will be going into the back bump today, but if you want to go through the front, that's totally up to you. And place a final double crochet in the last chain from the hook. So now we have a set of 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and this will be a multiple of 1. So in this tutorial, like I said, it's done in multiples of 17 plus 5, and I will probably be doing 17 plus 5 for a total of 22 for this tutorial. So from here, you want to chain 2, 1, 2, turn it over, and we are going to be front post double crocheting into the 2 double crochets down below. So you always want to skip this first one, and we are going to be front posting double crochet into the middle post and the last post. So bring up your yarn by chaining 2, yarn over, go behind the post so that the post is in the front of your hook for a front post double crochet, and complete the double crochet. Front post double crochet into the final post from the previous row, and that will give you 3. 1, 2, 3. So turn your work over by chaining 2. We are now looking at the back of the design. We will be considering the front post double crochets as the front of the design. So to keep it consistent, in this row you will be doing back post double crochets into the middle post and the last post. So to make a back post, come from the back, put that middle post behind your hook. See how it's behind? And complete the double crochet. Repeat with the last chain. Come from behind, put the post behind your hook, pull through to complete a double crochet. So for every row, you'll be alternating front post and back post double crochets in a set of 3. Always skip the first one because the chain up will act as your first post double crochet, and you will only be placing post double crochets into the middle and the last one. So these will be considered the multiples. So right now I've done 1, 2, 3. So this would be considered a multiple of 3. I will be doing a multiple of 17 plus 5 for a total of 22 chains, and I will meet you back here. Just don't forget to alternate your back post and front post double crochets. I've completed my multiple of 17 plus 5. This is what the front looks like, and this is the back. So after I completed the 22 sets of 3 double crochets, I ended up at the front of the pattern. Depending on how many multiples you make, you may end up on the back, and that is totally okay. You just have to remember whenever you are looking at the front, whenever we do post double crochets, you want to be doing front post double crochets. And if you're in the back, always be doing back post double crochets. It's really important because it really helps develop this 3D embossed effect. And if you're alternating the wrong way, or if you're not being consistent, it will not look as pronounced as this. So since I ended up at the front, I will be making sure that when I need to do post double crochets, I'll be doing front post double crochets. So for row 1, you will need to chain 2, 1, 2, and you're going to place 2 double crochets in this first chain space. 1, 2. From here, chain 2, 1, 2, and you will be skipping the next chain space. It gets kind of confusing to see where the chain spaces are, and if you get confused, it's really easy to determine from the back because they're separated by these double crochets that stick out. In the front, it's a little bit harder, so if you get confused, feel free to look at the back. So after chaining 2, skip this first chain space right here and go into the second one. I will be placing 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now go directly into the next chain space and place 3 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3. From here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next chain space and place 3 double crochets into the next chain space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip the next chain space, so skip this one, and place 3 double crochets in the next chain space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip the next chain space and place 3 single crochets in the next chain space. 1, 2, 3. Go directly into the next chain space and place 3 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Go directly into the next chain space and place 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Go directly into the next chain space and place 2 single crochets. 1, 2. So we made a total of 11 single crochets. 3, 6, 9, 11. From here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip this next chain space and place 3 double crochets into the following chain space. So 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip this next chain space and place 3 double crochets into the following chain space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip your next chain space and place 3 single crochets in the following chain space. Skip and place 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Go directly into the next chain space and place 3 single crochets. 4, 5, 6, chain 2, 1, 2, and place 3 double crochets in the very last chain space. So you will be skipping this next one and place 3 double crochets in the last one. 1, 2, 3, and that completes row 1. For row 2, you're going to want to chain up 2 to bring up the yarn and flip your work. So now for me, I am looking at the back of my project. So in these first double crochets from the previous row, I will be doing back post double crochets to begin my edging. So I chained up 2. I'm going to skip this first one. I'm going to yarn over and do back post double crochets into the middle post and the last post. 1, 2, and that makes 3 because the first chain up acted as your first double crochet post. So you're going to be starting every single row with the post double crochets as the border. Complete 3, but only do 2 because the chain up will act as 1 already. So from here, chain 2, 1, 2, and you'll be placing 5 single crochets into the single crochet row below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll be skipping this last one because in the previous row we did 6, and in this row we will only be doing 5. From here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I will be doing back post double crochets into each of these 3 double crochets from the previous row. So I'm going to be placing a back post double crochet into each one. 1, 2, 3. From here, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to place a double crochet into this chain space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and an additional 3 back post double crochets into each of these double crochets from the previous row. So that makes 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to decrease this row of 11 single crochets into 9 by skipping the first and the last single crochet. So skip the first one and place a single crochet into each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So skip that first one and skip this last one. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Back post double crochet into the set of 3 double crochets from the previous row. 1, 2, 3. Again, if you were looking at the other side of your pattern, just make sure you're doing the corresponding post double crochets. From here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place a double crochet into this chain space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I will be doing 3 back post double crochets into these 3. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll be placing 5 single crochets into this row of single crochets but we will be skipping this first one. So you go straight into the second one for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2, 1, 2, and end your row by placing 3 back post double crochets into the previous set of double crochets from the last row. You will be ending your pattern or your rows in the exact same way every single time. Chain up 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. For row 3, begin your pattern the same way by making your post double crochets into the middle and last double crochets from the previous row. Chain 2, 1, 2. We will be placing 4 single crochets into the row below. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip that last single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place a front post double crochet into the row of double crochets from the previous row. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into this first chain space. Now chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the next chain space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place front post double crochets into this set of 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And we will continue to decrease this row of single crochets by skipping the first and the last one. So skip the first one and go straight into the second one to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll be placing a front post double crochet into each of these 3. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into this chain space below. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the next chain space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll be placing a front post double crochet into each of these. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And we'll continue to decrease this row of single crochets by skipping the first one, and you're going to be placing 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. Chain 2, 1, 2, and complete your row by placing your post double crochets into that final set of 3 from below. 1, 2, and 3. And that's the end of row 3. As you can see, you can already begin to see this 3D effect taking place. Chain 2, 1, 2. Turn your work and start your row the same way by placing a post double crochet into the middle and last post from below. Chain 2, 1, 2, and place 3 single crochets into the single crochet row down below. 1, 2, 3. You want to skip that last one. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you'll be placing a back post double crochet into each of these 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and you'll be placing 10 double crochets into this middle chain space of 5. So you're going to skip this first chain space of 3 and you're going to go straight into the chain space of 5 and place 10 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Chain 2, 1, 2, and place your post double crochets into this row of previous double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And to decrease this row of 7 to 3, we'll be skipping the first 2 and skipping the last 2. So skip, skip, and go. 1, 2, 3. And skip the final 2 single crochets. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place your post double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and again you'll be placing your 10 double crochets into this chain space of 5. Skip the first chain space of 3 and go straight into this chain space of 5. 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Chain 2, 1, 2. Place your post double crochets into that set. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you'll decrease this row of 4 into 3 by skipping this first one. So you will go 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and end your row by placing your double crochets into the border. And that completes row 4. This is the back of the project. To begin row 5, chain 2, 1, 2, and turn. Begin the row the same way by placing your post double crochets and chain 2, 1, 2, and I will be placing a double crochet into this middle single crochet right here. So double crochet in the middle. Skip the first one and go right into the second one. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 front post double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now chain 2, 1, 2. We will be placing our puff stitches into this set of 10 double crochets to start this design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There will be a total of 5 puff stitches, and to do that we will be grouping 2 double crochets together. So I'll show you. You yarn over and make a puff stitch. You go into the first one and you pull up a loop for 1. Yarn over, go into the same one again and pull up a loop for 2. Yarn over, go into the same chain for 3 loops. You're not going to end there because you will be pulling up an additional 3 loops in the next chain space. So yarn over, insert, pull up 4. Yarn over, insert, pull up 5. Yarn over, insert, and pull up 6. Now you're ready to close this puff, so you will be yarning over and pulling through all 6 on your hook. You're going to leave the final 2 loops on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and close those 2. So now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and repeat what we just did here into the next set of 2 chains. So again, yarn over, pull up 1, yarn over, pull up 2, yarn over, pull up 3, yarn over, go into the next chain and pull up 4, yarn over, pull up 5, yarn over, insert, pull up 6, and you're ready to close. So you will yarn over, pull through all 6 on the loop, on the hook, leave the last 2, yarn over, pull through the 2. Now chain 2 and repeat what we just did here into the final set of double crochets and grouping 2 at the same time. So we have 2, you'll have 1 more here, another one there, and another one in the final 2. So you'll have a total of 5 puff shells. Just remember to chain 2 in between each puff stitch. So I will be completing this and I will be right back. So I've completed my set of puff stitches on top of my 10 double crochets. Again, I grouped 6 together. So 3 in the first chain, an additional 3 in the next one. I chained 2 between each one. So now to continue, chain 2, 1, 2, and you'll be placing front post double crochets into this set of double crochets from below. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you'll be placing a double crochet into this middle stitch. So skip this first one and go straight into the second with a double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and continue with your front post double crochets into each of these double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, and we're back at the 10 double crochets, so you will be doing this exact same step. 3 loops up on the first chain, an additional 3 loops up on the second chain, pull through all 6, leave the last 2 loops on your hook, then close by pulling over those last 2 hooks, chaining 2 and repeating for a total of 5 puff stitches using 2 double crochets together. And you'll be working that into this set. I've completed my 5 puff stitches on top of my 10 double crochets, and that's what it should look like. A total of 6 loops grouped together and separated by 2 chains. So from here, chain 2, 1, 2, and place your front post double crochets into each of these. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place a double crochet into this middle stitch. So skip this first one and place a double crochet into this middle one. chain 2, 1, 2, and end your row with your front post double crochets. And that completes row 5. For row 6, chain 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. Begin your row the exact same way we've been doing them for all the previous rows, with your front post or back post double crochets into the middle and last post. Now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to jump across to this set of 3 double crochets and place your corresponding post double crochets. I will be placing back posts. 1, 2, and 3. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you will be going into this chain space between your first 2 puffs, and you'll be placing 3 single crochets between them. 1, 2, 3. Repeat with the next chain space. You'll make 4, 5, and 6. Now place a single crochet on top of this puff, this very middle puff, to make 7. That is the only puff you will be placing a single crochet on top of. Now place 3 in the next chain space to make 8, 9, 10, and place 3 in the final space to make 11, 12, 13. So we just made a row of 13 single crochets. From here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place your back post double crochets into this set. 1, 2, 3. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and jump right across into this next set of 3 double crochets and place your back post double crochets inside them. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and again go into this chain space between the first 2 puffs and place 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Repeat with the next chain space to make 4, 5, 6. Here's the middle puff, so we will be placing a single crochet on top of it. 7, 3 in the next chain space to make 8, 9, 10, and then 3 in the next chain space to make a total of 13. So 10, 11, 12, 13. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and do your back post double crochets into that set below it. 1, 2, 3. Now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and jump all the way to the end where your border is and end your row with your back post double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. That completes this row. Chain 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. Begin row 7 the same way we've been doing every single row by doing your post double crochets. And from here you're going to want to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and you're going to go straight into this set of double crochets and place your front post double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Decrease this row of 13 single crochets into 11 by skipping the first and the last single crochet. So skip this first one and go into the second one. You'll be making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So skip the first and the last for a total of 11 single crochets. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place your front post double crochets into this set. 1, 2, 3. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and jump right across over this middle chain space and place 3 front post double crochets right here. One, 2, 3. Chain 3 and decrease this row of 13 single crochets into 11 by skipping the first and the last stitch. So skip this one and go into the second one for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Complete your front post double crochets into this next set. 1, 2, 3. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Jump right across and end this row by placing your 3 front post double crochets into the border. 1, 2, and 3. And that completes row 7. To begin row 8, chain 2 and turn. Begin your row the exact same way. 1 and 2 front back post double crochets. Now from here, chain 2, 1, 2, and place a double crochet into this chain space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place your back post double crochets into this set. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Continue to decrease this row of single crochets by skipping the first and the last. So in the previous row we had 11, and in this row we will have 9. So skip this first one and go to the second for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place your back post double crochets into this next row, or this next set. 1, 2, and 3. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place a double crochet into this chain space below. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and do your back post double crochets into that set. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Decrease this row of 11 to 9 by skipping the first and the last. So skip and go 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and complete your back post double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place a double crochet into this next chain space. Chain 2, 1, 2, and end this row. And that completes row 8. To begin row 9, chain 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. You are going to begin your row the same way by placing your post double crochets into the border. From here, chain 2, 1, 2, and place a single crochet in this first chain space. Now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and place a single crochet in this next chain space. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and complete your front post double crochets right here. 1, 2, and 3. And we'll be decreasing this row of single crochets from 9 to 7. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to skip this first one and go into the second one to make 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Complete your set of post double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to place a single crochet in this first chain space. So 1 single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place a single crochet in this next chain space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and complete your post double crochets into this row. 1, 2, 3. From here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and decrease this row of 9 into 7 by skipping the first and the last. So skip and go 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and complete your front post double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into this first chain space. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into this final chain space. Chain 2, 1, 2, and end your row. 1, 2, 3, and that completes row 9. To begin row 10, chain 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. Start the row how you normally would. To continue, chain 2, 1, 2, and you will be placing 6 double crochets into this middle chain space. So skip the first one and go straight into the middle and place 6 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, 1, 2, and place your post double crochets into this set below. 1, 2, and 3. Now this row of 7 single crochets we will be decreasing to 3, and to do that you will chain 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll be skipping the first 2 chains and skipping the last 2 chains. So skip, skip, and go 1, 2, 3. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Complete your post double crochets right there. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and you'll be placing 10 double crochets into this middle chain space. So skip this first one and place 10 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. From here you want to chain 2. 1, 2, and you will be placing your back post double crochets into this set. Make 1, 2, and 3. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, decrease this row of 7 single crochets into 3. So you will skip the first one, skip the second one, and go into the third one to make 1, 2, and 3. Skip the last 2. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and place your back post double crochets into that set below. 1, 2, and 3. Now chain 2, 1, 2, and place 6 double crochets into this middle chain space. You will be skipping this first chain space and going right in the middle with 6 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 2, 1, 2, and end the row the same way you've been ending it in all the previous rows. 1, 2, and 3. Chain up 2, turn your work and start it in the same way you always have been. And you will chain 2 from here. 1, 2. You'll be placing puff stitches into this set of 6 double crochets. You'll be grouping 2 together with 6 loops, and I'll show you how. So yarn over, insert through the first one, pull up 1, insert again, pull up 2, insert again, pull up 3, yarn over, go into this next chain, insert, pull up 1, insert, pull up 2, insert, pull up 3, and that makes a total of 6 loops. And now you're going to close it up, yarn over, pull through all 6, leave the last 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. Now chain 2 and repeat it on this next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over, pull through all 6, yarn over, pull through to close, and chain 2, 1, 2. Now repeat on the very last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, close. And there's your 3 puff stitches. Now chain 2, 1, 2, and complete your set of post double crochets into the set below. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you'll be placing a double crochet into this middle single crochet. So yarn over and place a double crochet right in the middle. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Jump across and complete your set of 3 post double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2. And you will be placing 5 puff stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into this set of 10 double crochets. So insert into the first one, pull up 3 loops, 1, 2, 3, jump into the second one and pull up an additional 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn over, pull through all 6, yarn over, pull to close, chain 2, and repeat until you get the end. You should have a total of 5 puff stitches by grouping 2 together and chaining 2 in between each. I've completed my 5 puff stitches. To continue, chain 2, 1, 2, and you're going to be placing your set of front post double crochets into that set below. 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place a double crochet into this middle stitch. So skip the first and go to the second, and for a double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Jump right across and continue your post double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And in this final set of 6 double crochets, you will be placing 3 puff stitches. Again, group the first 2 stitches together. So yarn over, pull up 1, 2, 3, jump into the second chain, pull up 1, 2, 3 for a total of 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 6, yarn over, pull to close. Chain 2, and repeat what you just did until you have 3 puff stitches. So I've completed my 3 puff stitches. From here you will chain 2 and end the work the way you always have been. So 3 post double crochets into the border. 1, 2, 3. And chain 2 and turn your work. And start the row the same way. 1 and 2. Chain 2, 1, 2, and place 3 single crochets into this first chain space between the first 2 puffs. So 1, 2, 3. Place an additional single crochet on top of this very middle puff. So we have 3, this will make 4. Place an additional 3 single crochets in the last chain space between the middle and the last puff. So that makes 5, 6, and 7. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Complete your set of post double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go right across and place your set of 3 post double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to chain 3 from here. 1, 2, 3. We'll be placing 3 single crochets in the chain space between the first 2 puffs. Make 1, 2, 3. Place an additional single crochet into the very middle puff to make, place 3 single crochets in the next chain space to make 4, 5, 6. Now you've reached the middle puff, so place a single crochet on top of that to make 7, and then 3 single crochets in the next chain space to make 8, 9, 10. An additional 3 single crochets in the last chain space to make 11, 12, and 13. So 3, 3, 1, 3, 3. From here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Complete your set of post double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to jump across and complete another set of 3 post double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. From here, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Go into the chain space between the first 2 puffs and place 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Go on top of that middle puff and place 1. That makes 4. And then place an additional 3 in the last chain space between the last puffs. 5, 6, and 7. Chain 2 and end your row with your post double crochets in the border. 1, 2, and 3. We will chain 2 and turn our work. In row 12, the pattern begins to repeat itself. So row 12, you would repeat row 1. So to make row 12, you would chain 2, and since we had 7 here, in the first row we had 6 single crochets. So that means you will be placing 6 single crochets here. You will be chaining 3, completing your your front post double crochets, chaining 3, jumping across and finishing this set of post double crochets, chaining 3, reducing this number of 13 to 11, chaining 3, doing your post double crochets, chaining 3, jumping across and finishing this set of post double crochets, chaining 3, reducing the 7 to 6 by skipping this first one, chaining 2 and ending with post double crochets. So from row 12, again, the pattern begins to repeat itself. So if you're going to keep continuing 12, 13, 14, it repeats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. I will end the tutorial here. If you need refresher on how to complete the first row, just go ahead and rewind the video. I hope you guys make something really wonderful with this pattern because it is a really beautiful pattern. I will probably be continuing and doing a skirt with mine. So if you want to see how that turns out, just let me know in the comments below and I'll include a little works in progress video of how it's starting to look. All right, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.